we just watched Pokemon I Choose You. One of the newer Pokemon movies. This was actually a remake of the original series, and that was quite a throwback.
Yeah, but something else I noticed, though, it did have some elements from Pokemon the first movie, though. There were a couple Pokemon the first movie-esque type things in there.
Oh, yeah.
There was.
Try to be as few spoilers as possible here. It definitely was a lot darker and more adult than I'm used to seeing in Pokemon movies.
But we already talked about this because I recently watched Pokemon Sun and Moon, and I talked to Dawn about how Pokemon in the first series didn't do a lot of the adult things even the series now does. They just don't. I guess because they know the older people watch it and not just young people that, you know, because back when we were younger, no grown person probably watched Pokemon.
I'm actually on IMDb right now, and it says trivia, the next Pokemon film due to release the summer of 2018 will continue the alternate timeline of this movie. But the movie that came out was the one we watched in theaters, right?
Yeah, and that was actually based off X and Y?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh, that's interesting.
So they're saying there's supposed to be a continuation movie to I Choose You?
Yeah.
I'm cool with that, actually, because I really like the movie.
I've come from the future to tell you about the androids and the impending doom of our planet. Not really. I came from the future to tell you that The Power of Us actually was the sequel to I Choose You. Don't know how, but we somehow saw the sequel first in theaters. Back to the episode.
Yeah, apparently there was a post-credit scene removed in the American version that hints to the second film. Though in our credits, it did show the other partners of Ash, so Tracy, Brock, Misty. Mm-hmm. All of them. So maybe that's hinting towards, like, different regions with the alternate timeline. Because this definitely is an alternate timeline. I would say for the, first 20 minutes, it's pretty close.
Yeah, it's pretty fairly close.
But then the first gym battle you see, it completely goes off the rails.
Yeah, because I think by the first gym battle, the first gym battle they showed, he was like, this is my third badge.
They kind of totally skipped Brock and Misty completely. So we'll keep any spoilers like this, we'll keep to the first about 20 minutes of the film. Because it's not that bad, it's just showing the differences between the series that we're used to and this movie's timeline.
Yeah, which actually we were like, hey, we should go back and watch Indigo, but I was like, it's still good, just, man, the animation is it's a tough one.
Yeah, it is old school, and you also hear the difference because this one is actually, I think, Sarah, and the original Ash, of course, is Veronica Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
This movie did really well in theaters. It made millions of dollars. And actually has a 6.5 out of 10 on IMDb.
Well, remember when we saw the other Pokemon movie, we actually thought we were watching this one.
Yeah.
But we weren't.
No, we weren't. I actually don't think we talked about the other movie at all on any of the sweeps or knots. We might go back and revisit that at some point.
Yeah, but I would definitely like to watch it again before we do.
The cool thing is, we watched it in theaters just for the experience, but it came out on XD the next day.
Yeah.
Because we watched the last day in theaters.
Yeah, well, the Pokemon I Choose You, we actually almost bought it a couple weeks ago. Luckily, we didn't, so now we watch it for free on Netflix.
Yeah, because we almost bought it on the Google Play Store.
Yeah.
And we watched Pokemon 3 not too long ago. Well, y'all did for the first time.
Yeah, on that HD they said, but I could have swore that's still DVD quality.
Nah, that's still VHS quality. What are you talking about?
The quality was terrible. And then, we watched Pokemon Forever on DVD, and man, I'm not trying to be a spoiled brat, but I just can't. I gotta have Blu-ray. I just can't, man. That's still a good movie, too.
I wonder if any of the Pokemon movies are on Blu-ray. I don't think I've ever seen any.
No, there's Pokemon movies on Blu-ray, just you gotta find the right ones. But actually, no, here's a real question. Have you ever watched a Pokemon movie you didn't like yet? Because I definitely haven't.
Yes. One that I can think of was the Temple of the Sea, where it had the Pokemon Rangers in it.
I don't think I saw that one.
That one's pretty bad. I really liked Deoxys. I really liked the original 3. Giratina was good. Darkrai was good. The problem is, I kind of skipped a bunch of Pokemon movies. I watched all the originals, of course, like the first 3.
Yeah.
And the 4th, because it's Pokemon 4 is the one with Celebi.
Which is Forever. Which, actually, I didn't know that, but that makes sense. Pokemon Forever.
Yeah. So I watched those first 4, and then I skipped a bunch of,
There were a lot of nonsense movies, and actually there was, somewhere in there where they were making that, I think around the 5th or 6th or 7th movie, there was Mewtwo Returns.
Yeah.
Which I don't think I watched that one.
Well, that was just a TV movie special, so it's like nowhere near the quality.
Yeah, because then they have another one where there's Genexus, which had Mewtwo again in it, but that's when Mewtwo could use his Mega Evolution.
Yeah, see, I didn't watch that one. I skipped all the way to Diamond and Pearl and watched all those, which were great.
Man, how many Pokemon movies have there been altogether? There's been a lot.
Hey, Google, how many Pokemon movies are there?
18.
Actually, I think out of all 18, I've probably only seen about 8.
Ooh, that's a tough one. No joke, I've probably seen like at least 12. Because I've even seen like Lucario and all
I think I've
kinds
seen the
of
Lucario one.
Yeah. That one was alright. That one was more like a TV movie. It wasn't... Like, if you watch Darkrai, that's like very cinematic. And that's how you can tell if it's a Pokemon movie or not. But yeah, the other Pokemon movie we were talking about is The Power of Us that we thought was the I Choose
Oh, was it
You.
The Power of Us? 'Cause I couldn't remember the dang name of the movie. Yeah.
That's and then we looked at the cast and Vic was in and everything and we were like, oh, all these random voices. Yeah.
No, I like the one where it said when we were watching The Power of Us or The Power of You or whatever it was. It said voice characterizations of Veronica Taylor and all them, so they tried to purposely imitate Veronica Taylor's voice.
Yeah, it did say that. I remember that. It's like, this is the voice actor imitating blank.
Right.
And I was like, man, that had to be in their exiting contract.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've never seen that happen. I've never seen them in the credits list who they're imitating.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Well, altogether, the people that write Pokemon, they're a lot of times, I think what they're doing sometimes is stupid, but man, they're smart though. Just how they've taken someone like Ash, he's still 10 years old, but they still happen to fit all the things that he did still into one storyline, and he never ages.
So when we saw the other Pokemon movie, The Power of Us, it had what we said, like one kind of adult dark scene.
Oh, where the Pokemon bit the dust?
Yeah, so there's that one, but this one in I Choose You was very dark, and there was multiple points where we were like, you can't do this.
I mean, they even had a point where I think Ash was on the edge of insanity.
Okay, I'm actually looking at the movies. There are just a few I haven't seen. Like, I haven't seen Jiraxi. Oh yeah, here's Temple of the Sea that I said was trash. I haven't seen none of the black and white movies.
I've tried to go back and watch as many as possible. Pokemon has about as much as Dragon Ball Z, because I think Dragon Ball Z has around 20 movies, so Pokemon has about 18. So they're right on par with each other. And they're kind of similar to where none of the movies are canon, similar to how Dragon Ball Z was, but now Dragon Ball Super is doing all canon movies.
Okay, here are the movies that I really enjoyed, and they were in the trilogy, which is The Rise of Darkrai, Giratina and the Sky Warrior, and then Arceus and the Jewel of Life.
I think I watched that Arceus
Oh,
one.
and then there was Zorok too, the Master of Illusion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I didn't see a single one of the black and whites.
Yeah, I think I watched, I've watched The Clash of Destiny, which is the one with Hoopa. That was a pretty good one.
But man, what's weird is when you first watch I Choose You, it's funny how it streamlines the series and then it completely diverges.
Yeah.
And that's what really got me, because it was jarring. It was so close for, like I said, a good first 15 minutes, and then as you're creeping up on 20 minutes, it totally changes and it just throws you off.
Yeah.
And then it went from, it set the movie up like collecting the badges and getting to the Elite Four and stuff was going to be the plot of the movie, and it wasn't. It was a throwaway to the main plot, which we won't spoil.
Yeah. I mean, all in all, it was a good movie, though.
Yeah, and I like how they introduced the other Pokemon from different regions.
Yeah, because I told you that they were actually gonna. I was like, I feel like it's how Pokemon should always been, that those other Pokemon still existed.
Yeah.
And they do, like, not a lot of new Pokemon came into the region, but some did.
Well, they were smart about it, because in the movie, all the wild Pokemon are Hoenn region Pokemon,
Yeah, they're Hoenn
like
region.
the original. The Pokemon that are from different places are from those trainers that are from those different regions.
Yeah.
So they did it real smart and wasn't like, oh, there's a Diamond and Pearl Pokemon just walking outside of like Ash's house.
Mhm.
They didn't have that, which was great.
I think they did a really good job of almost showing all 150 Pokemon in that movie. Like, they showed
Ooh.
almost everything.
Yeah. And then at the end where they kind of ran through all the regions and showed little things of it.
Yeah.
And what's funny is it was, you say there was parts of the first movie incorporated in this one. It wasn't. It was actually Pokemon 2000.
Was it
'Cause I
Pokemon
remember
2000?
is Ho-Oh, Lugia, and the dogs.
Oh,
The
yeah.
first movie's about
Yeah.
Mewtwo. This one was like big time.
You know, out of all of them, man, I think like number 2 is probably the one I don't remember the most.
We should definitely watch that one. That one's pretty good.
That was Pokemon 2000, right?
Yeah.
That's the one I probably don't remember the most.
Yeah. Well, you didn't even see the third one. That one's still my favorite, only because it has to deal with a father, and those things always get me.
Yeah, because you had a father.
How dare you have two?
You had 2 fathers, 2 gay dads. No, I'm just...
Well, I think we're going to wrap this one up. It was a very great movie, and we need to watch Indigo again, and we need to watch the rest of the Pokemon movies.
Yeah, I really need to jump back on X and Y, then watch X, Y, Z fully.
Alright, remember, use your seatbelt.
I do not eat booty!